England, 1247. You are 7 years old. Your father has arranged for you to leave home. You do not choose this. You do not refuse it. A letter arrived 3 weeks ago. A nearby lord agreed to take you as a page. Your mother packed a bundle of clothes. Your father said little this morning. You stood outside your family stone house for the last time. A horse cart is waiting. You climb in. The driver does not speak. The house disappears behind you. The lord's estate is larger than anything you have seen. Stone walls, a courtyard with chickens and mud. 2 older boys watch you arrive without expression. A woman shows you to a small room with 3 straw mats on a dirt floor. You will share it with those boys. She explains your duties briefly. You will wake before dawn. You will serve at the table. You will run errands. You will not speak unless spoken to. She leaves. You sit on the mat. It is cold. Your first year is entirely domestic. You carry wood. You pour water. You hold doors. You stand still while adults talk around you. You are learning to be invisible. Occasionally, a knight on the estate acknowledges your presence with a nod. You watch how he moves, how he sits at the table, how he holds a cup, how he addresses the lord. You are not taught these things directly. You absorb them. This is considered an education. No one explains why. You are expected to understand. By age 9, physical training begins. Not weapons. Not yet. You run. You climb. You carry increasingly heavy loads across the courtyard. A senior page or a squire oversees this. He does not encourage you. He corrects you when you stop. You fall in the mud. You get up. This happens often. Your hands develop calluses. Your shoulders ache every morning. There is no formal rest period. Pain is not discussed. If you are sick, you still complete your tasks unless you cannot stand. This is standard. You are 10. You begin learning to ride. The horse is larger than you expected. The first lesson involves sitting still while the horse moves slowly in a circle. You fall twice in the first session. The groom who supervises says nothing after the first fall. After the second, he tells you to get back on. You do. By the end of the week, you can walk the horse without assistance. Progress is measured in weeks, not days. Riding will continue as a daily requirement for the next several years. At 11, you are introduced to a wooden sword. It is heavier than you expected. The drills are repetitive. Strike left, strike right, hold position. Start again. There is no sparring yet. You practice the same 4 movements for 3 months. Your wrist aches. The knight who oversees training does not watch you closely. He walks the line of pages and corrects posture with a short tap on the shoulder or back. You are not singled out for praise. Consistency is the only thing acknowledged. You continue. You are 12. A formal assessment takes place. The lord and 2 knights observe a morning of drills. You perform your riding exercises. You demonstrate sword positions. You carry a full load across the yard. No one tells you how you performed. 2 weeks later, you are informed that you will continue your page service until 14. 1 boy from your group is sent home. The reason is not explained to you or to him publicly. He has simply gone by mourning. His mat is given to someone else. At 14, if you have performed adequately, you become a squire. This is not a celebration. It is a reassignment. You are now attached to a specific knight. You will live closer to him, travel with him, and manage his equipment. Your previous duties were about obedience. These new duties are about function. You clean his armor, you maintain his horse, you carry his weapons, you sleep outside his door when traveling, you eat after he eats. The structure is total. You are inside it now completely. Armor maintenance is technical work. Each piece has a name. Each piece must be cleaned, dried, and oiled in a specific sequence. Rust is your failure. A single spot of rust before a tournament or a campaign is a serious problem. You learn this the first time it happens. The knight does not raise his voice. He shows you the spot. He hands the piece back. You spend the rest of the night correcting it. After that, you check every piece twice before setting it down. You do not forget again. Combat training intensifies as a squire. You now use a real sword, though most drills use blunted practice weapons. You spar with other squires under supervision. The objective is not to win. The objective is to demonstrate form under pressure. Being struck is expected. You are not permitted to react emotionally to pain during training. A squire who shows excessive distress is noted. Not disciplined immediately, but noted. You understand that your composure is being evaluated at all times. You adjust your expression accordingly. This becomes second nature within a year. At 15, you attend your first tournament as a squire. Your role is logistical. You prepare your knight's horse at dawn. You carry his lance to the field. You stand at the edge of the lists and watch for his signal. If he is unhorsed, you enter the field immediately to assist. You do not watch the tournament as a spectator. You watch your knight. Only him. When it ends, you collect equipment, check for damage, and begin cleaning before the crowd has left. You sleep on the ground that night. The knight you serve is unhorsed in the second round. He is not seriously injured. A bruised shoulder, you help him off the field. Back at the tent, you remove his armor carefully. You do not ask what happened. You do not comment. You bring water. You organize the equipment. Later, another squire makes a remark about the fall to another boy. The knight hears. The squire is reassigned the following week. You remember this. The space between what you observe and what you say narrows further. You work quietly. By 16, your body has changed significantly. The daily training has made you stronger than most people your age. You notice this in practical ways. Carrying loads that exhausted you at 12 are now unremarkable. Your sword arm has a different density than your other arm. You can ride for hours without significant discomfort. These changes were not pursued for physical appearance. They were produced by function. Your body is being shaped by the work. You did not design this. The system designed it. You are its output. You are 17. Your knight is called to support a campaign, not a major war, a territorial dispute between two lords in the north. You travel with him. The journey takes 11 days. You sleep under a canvas sheet tied between two horses. It rains for 4 of those days. The road becomes mud. One of the supply horses breaks a leg and must be killed. You help with this. You have never done it before. You do it correctly. You continue traveling the next morning without discussion. The campaign begins. The campaign is not a siege. It is a series of border skirmishes. Small groups of mounted men moving quickly, pressing at property boundaries, burning out buildings. You do not fight yet. Your role remains logistical, but you are present at the edge of 2 engagements. You hear the sounds metal on metal shouting, then quiet. You watch men return from those edges. Some have cuts. One has a broken hand. Nobody explains what happened in detail. You understand that explanation is not part of this environment. You prepare the camp. On the 8th day of the campaign, your knight enters a skirmish. You are not ordered to stay back. You follow protocol and remain with the horses at the tree line. The engagement lasts less than 10 minutes when it ends. 2 men from the opposing group do not get up. Your knight returns. His armor has a dent near the left shoulder. You note it. You say nothing about the men on the ground. On the road back to camp, you begin planning the repair. This is your function. You perform it. The campaign ends after 3 weeks. Your group returns with the disputed land boundary largely unchanged. This outcome is not discussed among the men in any direct way. You return to the estate. Life resumes its structure, training, maintenance, drills. You are now treated with slightly more directness by the senior knights on the estate. Not warmth, directness. You are asked questions about what you observed. You answer accurately. You do not embellish. This seems to be correct. The conversations are brief. You return to your duties when they end. You are 18. The question of knighthood is not yet discussed openly, but you understand it is being evaluated. Not all squires are knighted. Some serve as squires for their entire working lives. Others are knighted in their early 20s. A small number are knighted younger if circumstances require it. The criteria are not published. They include combat performance, conduct, loyalty, the Lord's judgment, and sometimes political convenience. You cannot accelerate the process. You can only continue performing your function without visible deficiency. You do this. You wait. You say nothing about waiting. At 19, you are present at the knighting of another squire on the estate. He is 22. The ceremony is brief. The Lord touches a sword to each of his shoulders. Words are spoken about duty and conduct. The new knight stands. There is a meal afterward. You serve at the table. You watch the new knight sit where he once stood. You return to your duties the following morning as a squire. No one comments on this. You do not comment on it either. You sharpen a sword and begin the day. You are 20. Your knight is assigned to escort a trade delegation to a town 3 days south. You travel with him. The journey is uneventful. On the second night, a small group of armed men approaches the camp perimeter. You are awake. You raise the alert. Your knight and 2 others respond. The group withdraws without engagement. In the morning, your knight notes your alertness to the senior man in the delegation. This is the closest thing to commendation you have received in 6 years of service. You continue your watch. At 21, you participate in direct combat for the first time as part of a larger force. The engagement is a field battle, not a skirmish. You are in the second mounted line. The fighting lasts approximately 2 hours. You are struck twice. Neither blow penetrates your armor. You strike others. You do not pause to assess outcomes. You continue moving with your group. When the opposing force withdraws, the field is still. You return to your position. Your hands are shaking slightly. You hold them against your horse's neck. They stop. After the battle, you perform a full equipment check. Your armor has 3 new dents. Your horse has a shallow cut on its left flank from an edge weapon. You clean and dress it. The animal is calm. You are calm. The camp that night is quieter than usual. Men eat without much conversation. You eat your portion and sleep. In the morning, the column begins its return march. The cause of the battle is not something you were fully briefed on. You completed your role within it. That was the expectation. You are 22. The knighting ceremony for you is scheduled. You are told 4 days in advance. There is a night vigil required. You spend it alone in the estate chapel. You kneel from evening until dawn. No one else is present. You are not given instructions for what to think about. You kneel in silence for approximately 8 hours. By the 4th hour, your knees are causing significant pain. You do not stand. You remain in position. The pain does not stop. Dawn comes. You have not slept. The ceremony begins. The ceremony is brief. The Lord speaks words about service and obligation. A sword touches each of your shoulders. You rise. You are a knight. There is no dramatic feeling. There is exhaustion from the vigil and a dull ache in both knees. You are given a new set of spurs. You put them on. A meal follows. You sit at a different part of the table than you sat yesterday. The food is the same. The room is the same. Your title has changed. Your function has expanded. The work continues tomorrow. As a knight, you now have a squire assigned to you. He is 13. He reminds you of nothing. You give him instructions the way you received them, without excess. Without explanation beyond function, you observe whether he performs his tasks correctly. When he does not, you show him the correct method once. If the error repeats, you note it. You do not raise your voice. This is how you were managed. You have absorbed the method completely. You are now the structure you once moved through. You continue to operate within it. You are 25. You have participated in 4 campaigns and 2 tournaments. You have not been seriously injured. This is not common. You are aware of this statistically without framing it as luck. 2 knights you trained alongside are dead. 1 in battle, 1 from an infection following a minor wound. A 3rd retired from active service after losing 2 fingers. You continue, your equipment is better. Now your horse is your 3rd. The first 2 were killed in separate engagements. You name the 3rd horse. You have not named one before. You do not explain why. At 27, the Lord arranges a marriage for you. You are introduced to the woman once before the agreement is finalized. She is 18. The marriage is a functional arrangement involving land transfer and family alliance. You understand this. She likely understands this. The wedding ceremony takes place on a Tuesday. It is not a large event. Your domestic circumstances change. You now manage a small household on a parcel of land granted by the Lord. You have new administrative responsibilities. These are added to your existing military obligations. You adjust your schedule. You are 31. A longer campaign begins. A territorial conflict that will last 8 months. You are away from your household for most of this period. You send 2 letters. You receive 1. The campaign involves a siege that lasts 6 weeks. The conditions are poor. The food supply is unreliable for 19 days. Several men develop illness. You do not. You manage your section of the line. The siege ends when the garrison surrenders. You do not witness the outcome of the people inside the fortification. Your unit moves to the next position. You return at 32. Your household has continued without you. Your squire managed several maintenance tasks adequately. Your land produced a modest harvest. Your wife is present when you arrive. There is no recorded account of that conversation. You resume your duties within the week. Your body carries the record of 15 years of active service. A scar across your left forearm, reduced hearing in your right ear from a blow absorbed during the siege. Your knees cause pain in cold weather. These are considered standard outcomes. You continue your function. The structure holds. Most knights of this period did not die in battle. They died of infection, illness, or the accumulated physical cost of decades of service. Active combat duty typically ended in the late 30s or early 40s. Some transitioned to administrative roles. Some trained younger men. A small number held land and managed it until death. The system that shaped you from age 7 continued past your active participation. It produced the next page, the next squire, the next knight. The structure did not require your story. It only required your function. It continued.